Hello, and welcome to the English with Colin Podcast, a podcast for English language learners. My name's Colin, I'm an English teacher in Tokyo, and if you're looking to improve your English skills and gain more confidence in your ability to communicate in English, you've come to the right place. In these episodes, I'll provide you with short conversations in English that cover a range of topics, from everyday situations to more specialised subjects. These conversations are designed to help you practice your listening skills and pick up new vocabulary and grammar along the way. Regular listening practice is key to improving your English, and I hope this podcast will become a valuable resource for you on your language learning journey. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. And remember, the more you listen, the more you'll learn. This is episode 3, and the topic of today's conversation is TV shows that Colin and Susana have watched recently. Hey Sue, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. What I want to ask you about today is TV shows. Have you watched any good TV shows recently?
Oh, there's so many options, isn't there? But the one that I really liked, and I was just finished watching, is The Mandalorian.
Oh, yes.
So The Mandalorian is part of the Star Wars world, I guess. And yeah, no, I very much enjoyed it. But I think I enjoyed it because we were watching all the movies before watching The Mandalorian.
Right. Yeah. So we hadn't really, or we didn't really know anything about Star Wars, really. Like, we knew the characters, like we knew who Darth Vader was and Luke Skywalker and Chewbacca, and you kind of knew the characters, but didn't really know the details of the story or the world.
No, I think we were too young when these movies were very big.
The first three movies.
The first three movies.
Was that late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, well,
yeah,
probably not even born then.
Yeah.
So we weren't paying attention to that, but being part of the pop culture, you understand that these characters exist and that this world exists. But now, having watched the movies and understanding the world a little bit more, I was able to really enjoy The Mandalorian, and the actor is fantastic. I think he does a very good job.
Right. Do you know the name of the...
Pedro Pascal.
Right. And he's from...
I think he's from, well, Chile.
Chile? I think he's Chilean American.
Yes.
Yeah. So in brief, how would you describe the story? Is it connected with Darth Vader and all that kind of stuff?
No, I think that's part what I really enjoyed it. It's part of the world, but it just takes you away from the main characters. So it's not really trying to explain the main storyline,
right? But
it's just exploring the rest of the world, that Star Wars world. And it's good. I very much enjoyed it. I've heard it being called like a Western, like a
right. Yes, it is
space Western.
Right,
style.
A space Western. Yeah, there's lots of walking into saloons.
Indeed.
Lots of people sitting around drinking in the middle of the day.
But also the pace. The pace is very good. I think this Western is like a story. It's just little by little, and I enjoy that. Sometimes I feel some shows just give you either too much or too little, but this was just the right pace.
Right. Yeah, the idea of it being a space Western is kind of interesting, because obviously a Western suggests kind of old-fashioned cowboys kind of lifestyle, but obviously this is in a weird kind of future where you've got spaceships and laser guns and all that kind of stuff. It
goes really well with Star Wars, because Star Wars is very much in the future, but also very mechanical at times, that technology. So I just think it's the perfect match.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have as many sort of touch screen devices as we do these days. Everything
Indeed.
is clunky buttons and things like that.
But it's satisfying, isn't
Right.
it?
And did you have a favorite character in the show?
Well, the little guy,
Who's the little guy?
Grogu, I think. Was the
Right,
name.
Grogu. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But Grogu is more commonly known probably as
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
That's because we watched this show after it was a long time after it started. So
Right.
I've heard this term before,
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. And it's cute, but I didn't know why people were so crazy about this character. But now having watched it, yes, no, it's a fantastic character.
It's a very sweet relationship between the Mandalorian, who's the I guess the main character, and this Baby Yoda, which is a kind of really like a little baby and really relies on the Mandalorian for kind of protection. But we don't want to give too much away.
But the characters are great. There's not too many characters, so it's a nice balance.
It's easy. Would you recommend it to people?
Very much so, yes.
Good. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the English with Colin podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to the conversation and found it helpful in your language learning journey. Remember, the key to mastering a language is regular practice. So make sure you listen to our podcast regularly and keep honing your listening skills. We appreciate your support and feedback. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for future topics, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can find our contact information in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to joining you again next time for another conversation in English. Until then, keep practicing and take care.